So here we have in an arithmetic progression, the first term is minus 10, so this will be a will be the value of minus 10. Now the 15th term is 11, so 15th term have to be 11, and the last term is 41. Now again, we don't know the last term, that will be T of L will be 41. Now the question will be, find the sum of all the terms in the progression. So sum of the first L terms. So of all the terms will be what? So now again, in this case we know the type of progression that we have. It is an arithmetic progression. So once we know this, we can first write down all the formulas that we know about this progression. So we know that the nth term is given to you by what? By a plus n minus 1 times d, and the sum of the first n term should be half times n 2a plus n minus 1 times d. This is given to you on your list as well. You don't need to memorize that. However, I would always advise to do so you don't waste time. It is up to you, obviously. Now, let's go ahead. So here we have the first term is minus 10. And we have the 15th term is 11. So we can use this first, because if you realize we have the value of a, but the value of d is missing, right? So we have to find d, first thing first. So let's do that. Replace. When the term is 15, the value is 11. So let's use that knowledge to find the value of d. So let's replace. So that will be t of 15 is equal to a is minus 10, plus n minus 1 is 14, times d we don't know, is going to give you 11 according to the question. That will be 14, d have to be 21. So d have to be 21 divided by 14. That will be 1.5 as your value for d. So this is part 1. We realize a is minus 10 and d have to be 1.5. Now moving on, we have to know how many terms do we have in this progression. So we know that the last term, T of L, is given to you by 41. Which means when n is equal to L, the last term, the value is equal to 41. Replace back in the main equation, so you will have T of L is equal to a is minus 10, plus L minus 1 times d is the common difference that we have just seen, 1.5, have to give you the value of 41. So let's solve step by step. That will be 1.5, L minus 1, that will be 51. L minus 1 have to be what? 51 divided by 1.5, that will be 34. So L have to be 35. So this means that the last term is actually 35th term, which means we have 35 terms in total. Now we have to find the sum of all the terms, which means we have to find the sum of the first 35 term. That will be replaced back in the main formula right here. That will give you what? Half times n is the number of terms, 35, and 2 times a will be minus 10, plus n is 35 minus 1 times d, that will be 1.5. Okay, so let's see what do we have. Let's do the inside first. You will have 2 times minus 10, and then plus 34 times 1.5. That will give you 31. So half 35 times 31. So let's double check. So minus 20 plus 34 times 1.5, that will be 31, times 35 divided by 2, that will give you 542.5. Okay, so that will be the sum of the progression of all the terms in this progression. And that will be a question in regards to series.